What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And yeah, look, check it out, guys. We called it, okay? We called it from the beginning of the year. We said that all of these DCEU films, The Flash, Shazam, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, they were all going to flop. They were all going to flop in 2023 because James Gunn decided that, oh, you know what? I don't need Henry Cavill anymore. I'm going to shit can the Henry Cavill Superman. Henry, your services are no longer needed. Hasta la vista, baby. All right? All right, congratulations. You did that. And you tanked every last one of these films in 2023. We said this back in January. We discussed it during that entire reboot conversation. There's no reason to watch this. There is zero reason to watch this. For number one, in my opinion, Henry Cavill was like the only thing in that DCU, but there's other couple of things, but he was the main thing that worked. He was the main thing that everybody could get behind. People just wanted to see a good, solid movie that we could all wrap our arms around and said, oh man, this is a great Superman film, but he was the Superman for this generation. And you just completely got rid of him. So once you did that, everything that was left in this universe was just going up in smoke. It was going to happen. There was no chance that this was going to be a successful film. I'm sorry. I don't care if you come out and say, oh, it's the greatest superhero movie of all time. Yeah, whatever. Okay. You can have Tom Cruise say it. All right. Steven Spielberg, I think, said the same thing and all that kind of crap. David Zaslav. Look, James Gunn, you can have all of these cats come out there and say that all you want to. That just says, oh, okay, cool. That's something for me to watch when it comes on HBO Max. That's when I'm going to watch it. I'm not watching this. Not in the theaters. No, sirree, Bob. There's no reason to. There is no urgency to see this film. That's what it is. They don't understand this thing about the cinematic universe is that there has to be a reason to go and watch it other than just, well, you know, you used to just make standalone films. Yeah, you make standalone films with Batman, with Superman, with like these big names. When you make a standalone film with The Flash, people don't like Ezra Miller. People don't like this cat. This cat was out committing crimes all last year. You think people are going to come and watch this thing? Are you kidding me? Like, that's the thing I don't get about these guys. They're like so disconnected from what people want, from what the regular general audience or even just people in the comic book and genre communities, what we are looking for. We do not want to see criminals playing heroes. All right. And that's what you got with Ezra Miller. You got a straight up criminal playing a hero. Nobody wanted to see this. So guess what? Oh, we're not going to go and see it. And yeah, you can see right here. Here it is on the wrap. The Flash plummets at the box office with the second weekend drop of over 70%. No kidding. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah, when you have a criminal playing a hero, nobody's going to come out and watch this. When you've rebooted this the only reason to watch this thing is to see a continuing universe. And that universe has come to an absolute close. The book is shut on the DCEU. You're moving on to the DCU. So whatever money you dropped in this thing, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Okay. You've lost buckets and buckets of money. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. But yeah, I called it. And we all agreed that, yeah, the reboot, it was a done deal. You cannot reboot a cinematic universe and then expect people to come and watch the trailing ends of that. Unless it's like the culmination. Like if this was going to be the culmination of like 10 years of just a really great, interesting story, connected universe, all leading to this like finale like we had with Infinity War and Endgame. Okay, yeah, people would have came and saw that. Oh, okay, the cinematic universe is coming to an end, but this is going to be like Endgame or something. Got it. Okay, yeah, I'm showing up for that. But nobody's just going to show up for just some run-of-the-mill Flash. You guys got to be kidding me, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out what the rap got to say. Yeah, the bad news for Warner Brothers DC Flash just got worse after the tentpole blockbuster bombed last weekend with a much lower than hoped $55 million opening, pathetic opening. The industry estimates have it dropping by more than 70% this weekend to 14 to 16 million. Falling to number 3 on the charts below Elemental and Spiderverse, basically. It's coming underneath 2 animated films, and it was number 1 last week. It was number 1 last week, and it's falling below Elemental. And look, don't try to make it like Elemental is doing anything. Hollywood, Elemental is just as much of a bomb. It's just as much of a bomb as The Flash, okay? It just started out lower, so it didn't have that far to fall, but it's still a bomb. Don't get it twisted. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I mean, this thing is in like, what, its 4th weekend? Spider-Verse is in its 4th weekend, yeah. And for it to climb all the way back up and possibly get to number 1, that tells you everything you need to know about this weekend at the box office. Ain't nobody checking out any movies whatsoever. The first signs that such a drop was coming arrived on Thursday afternoon when Wednesday's numbers were reported and showed that both Spiderverse and Elemental had beaten The Flash in daily grosses. Daily grosses for Thursday showed the same trend as Flash grossed just $2.8 million on that day to finish its first week with a domestic total of $72.1 million. I want you guys just pay attention to this number. $72.1 million for its first week. And it needed to do somewhere in the triple digits just for the first weekend. And after an entire week, it only made it to $72.1 million. And that's below the $83.4 million for Black Adam. And we remember what a flop Black Adam was. You know, despite The Rock trying to spin it that it wasn't, it was a flop. So it says the 72% drop, as some estimates have it, would be the worst second weekend drop after a #1 opening since 80% drop. That's a whoo, man. This thing, Halloween Ends, dropped 80% in its second weekend. Jesus Christ. God damn. Yeah, but yeah, I didn't like this movie at all. It wasn't that good. $40 million. It had a $40 million opening. Among recent comic book movies, The Flash is dropping worse than the 69.9% fall that Marvel Studio. Look, they won't let it be 70%. That Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania had took in February from its $106 million opening. See, at least it had the 106, right? It got to the triple digits that these comic book things, when you spend $200 million, you got to at least get $100 million in your opening weekend. Otherwise, it's just going to be a failure. These things aren't going to have the legs that they think they're going to have unless it truly is a great film. And you saw that with Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is a good movie, and it had the legs to kind of leg it all the way out, and it's making its money back, and it's doing fine. But yeah, The Flash isn't that good. It's an okay movie. It's an okay. I saw it. It's okay. It's not great by any imagination. I don't know what David Zaslav and them was watching. They must have watched the director's cut, because the cut that I saw in theaters, hell no, that ain't the greatest superhero. Not even close. Not even close. Not even in the top 20, okay, of superhero films. I mean, nowhere near that. And yet, oh yeah, it's the greatest thing of all time. Yeah, y'all was smoking when y'all saw that movie. That's what I'm saying. Morbius, after opening to $39 million, basically it dropped 73%. So it's only slightly better than the 73.8% drop taken by Morbius after it opened in April. Yeah. So if you're only doing slightly better than Morbius's gigantic drop, yeah, you got problems. Yeah, you see it here. The Flash right now sitting at $176 million worldwide. Yikes, man. I mean, after the first week, you should be coming up close to that 300 million mark. You know, if you're international, you should be over the 300 million mark, to be quite honest with you. You should be above that after your first week. And yeah, it's still under 200 million. And yeah, you can see right here, Friday only made $4.5 million. That's an 81% drop. 81% drop from the previous Friday, which didn't do those hot numbers anyway. And it fell all the way off to 81% Friday to Friday. You think DC's learned a lesson? That's my question. Do you think DC, do you think Zaslav and James Gunn, do you think they're paying attention to these numbers? Do you think they're learning anything? You cannot treat your cinematic universe like this. You cannot treat your audience like this. You cannot give them trash and expect them to just eat it up and clap for it like baby seals. It's not going to happen. You got to give us quality. I hope all of Hollywood is paying attention right now. If you don't give us quality, we're not coming. There's way too much stuff to watch out there. All of the streaming services. You got YouTube. I can live on YouTube for days and never come off and be completely entertained. You know, I mean, it's like you guys gotta wake up and smell the coffee. You can't keep shoveling dreck into our mouths, expect us to keep eating it. We're going to spit it out and we're going to close our mouths. We're just going to go to a different restaurant. We're tired of this crap. And yeah, this is what happens. I'm so glad this is happening. And listen, I'm a DC guy. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, all right, Cyborg, Teen Titans. It's like that's my jam, okay? That's what I grew up with. That's what I enjoy. So I want the DC universe to be great, not just good, great. And they have the material. They have the best characters. They have the best storylines, in my opinion, better than Marvel. I'm not saying anything bad about Marvel. I just think DC is better. And it should be better than Marvel, in my opinion. But here we are. Like, this is what Variety got to say about it. Yeah, after the disastrous opening of $55.7 million, It cratered to 4.5 million on Friday, down 81% from opening day. Once projected to retain its top spot on the domestic charts, The Flash will now be lucky to stay one of the top 3 releases in theaters. A week-to-week drop of north to 70% looks to be in the cards. That would be higher than the 66% tumble that DC solo film Green Lantern took in 2011 on its way to a disappointment $116 million domestic finish. Yeah, I mean, Flash may not hit this, guys. I want you to keep in mind right now. Let's go back and look at it once again. This thing is sitting at $76 million, right now after Friday. And it only made $4 million. I mean, this thing, does it have another $40 million in it in the domestic box office to get to what they're talking about? The 116, does it have another 40 million? I don't know. I don't think it does. Man, it's, again, compared it to Morbius. All right. And however the Flash stacks up, it has little hope of justifying its $200 million production budget at this point. It's over. They've lost all of that $200 million. They've lost that plus the marketing and everything else. They have lost it. It is a wrap. They are not going to make their money back. They're going to lose significant amounts of money. And again, I go right back to the reboot because again, all you have to do is just try to incorporate what you want to do into Henry Cavill, into Ben Affleck, into Gal Gadot. Say, hey, we're just going to reshape what we already have. There's stuff that's working here. We're just going to reshape it and keep going with it. And you would have been fine. These films would make money. And I guess maybe this is just going to be, hey, we got to write this film off. We got to write all of this stuff off. But now you're running a huge risk that people will absolutely love the next iteration of the DC cinematic universe and that people will just come flocking to that. You're running a big risk. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I think audiences are starting to not to necessarily have superhero fatigue, but they're starting to just kind of be like, well, it's going to take a while for this thing to get built up. I don't really know what it's going to be quite yet. We'll see what happens. I think they're kind of slowly shifting back into like a different mindset of, I love the cinematic universe, but you see what they're doing with Marvel. Marvel's not even really working out like they used to. So I don't know where the fandom is right now when it comes to cinematic universes. Are they flocking to it? Maybe, maybe not. And you're going to reboot an entire new universe after you already had a universe in place that you could have built upon. To me, that was the wrong move. But again, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when it comes to all of this stuff. But anyway, you folks go ahead, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of this. Again, they're not making that $200 million back. This joint right here, this 200 milli, gone, burnt up in smoke. Okay. And now we got to see what James Gunn does going forward. But best believe Blue Beetle and Aquaman, they're going to suffer the exact same fate. You guys go ahead, jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.